Hey everybody, it's ENDYMION, and the sludge keeps coming out like crazy from the industry, and here I am in my hazmat suit having to sift through the garbage so we can understand what exactly is going on these days. So that whole Avowed thing happened, and I talked about it in my previous video, and it has now kind of gotten worse, and has opened up yet another discussion. As the art director at Obsidian goes completely off mask saying that he wants to replace white men entirely in the games industry. Beyond this, we got more hit pieces for Gamergate that are tied into Avowed and Dragon Age even, and then we'll finish with Witcher 4 having some trouble with devs attacking players too. Alright, let's get into this. Firstly, to quickly catch you up to speed, Avowed has pretty much gotten itself into hot water because its art director, whose name is Matt Hansen, has decided to make it his priority to attack conservatives and especially Elon Musk recently, claiming that Matt Hansen intentionally injected wokeness into Avowed because he wanted people to never escape the crippling reality of DEI and ESG no matter what they do. Of course, this is now backfiring on him, but now more has happened and stuff has been unearthed. Uh-oh indeed. Firstly, from Fandom Pulse, Avowed art director Matt Hansen wants to remove the too many crusty white dudes in the video game industry. Unfortunately, like always, when you try to say that the game industry or entertainment in general is trying to replace and erase white people from everything, you get called all sorts of buzzwords. And yet they keep proving me right time and again. There's a real problem of these specifically left-leaning white dudes particularly that annoy me. The people who genuinely think that there's some sort of plague on the world while everyone else is totally fine. I can't imagine living my life hating my skin color or where I'm from personally. There's pride to be found, no matter which corner of this godforsaken world you come from. And I think pushing white people down specifically and trying to normalize that we need to hate ourselves is ridiculous. You're never going to make me hate my skin color or my origins. I love who I am, I love that I'm white, and I'm also so happy that I'm a guy too. Nothing you say or do is going to make me hate myself so that you feel better. I don't care who or what you are, this sort of punching down or up idea is stupid. Of course, like I said, there's plenty of these white progressives that are morons that would unironically get stabbed in the street and refuse to give descriptions on who did it to them because they don't want to push some kind of stereotype. I mean, sure, I got stabbed and had my wallet stolen, but at least I'm not a bigot. Very cool. Well, this Matt Hansen guy, who kinda looks like if Kratos was evolving backwards, has decided to double and even triple down in his woke crusade. Firstly, a tweet of his was unearthed because whenever you start saying stupid stuff, people will then go looking to see if you've been stupid before. And yeah, this'll do it, so Matt Hansen once said this on Twitter. Reminder to black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice, my DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Well, good news for you, Matt. You don't need to do much to go live in the woods. Just go do it right now. Leave your position. Let someone who actually doesn't hate the paying customer fill your seat instead. It's this very stupid woke white liberal way of them acting like if they lose their power or something that it's a good thing. If you're so willing to give away your position of power, you never deserved it to begin with. Imagine working your whole life through the trenches of game development to eventually becoming the art director of a major game at a billion-dollar company. And your brain that has been rotted by the mind virus then tells you that it's morally justified to give up your position that you work so hard for because your skin is white. As if the person being in your position having a different color of skin means anything to their talent at all. Honestly, at this point, I'm halfway angry and annoyed by this Matt Hansen guy. You can't seriously be thinking this way, dude. It's pathetic to see. Where is your pride for your work? All the time you spent to get to where you are, all the thankless actions you probably did when you weren't at the top. And now because some gender studies HR person in an H&M blouse is telling you that you're racist and need to leave, you're going to throw away your entire life's work to do what exactly? Appease people of a different skin color than you? Most of these people that you virtue signal to, they won't even remember you if you were to die this very instant. They will pave over your grave with cement to build a nightclub one day because you deemed yourself by your own volition to be irrelevant and replaceable. I just can't imagine living with such self-inflicted guilt like this. Honestly, Matt Hansen, just leave Obsidian. For your own sake and ours, you are clearly unfit to work there if you're going to be this self-deprecating on a daily basis like this. Hiring people based on skin color or gender does nothing. It means nothing. This actually ties into this other article here from Northeastern Global News titled, "The games industry is in the middle of Gamergate 2.0. Experts explain why harassment and vitriol hurt everyone who loves games." This article here perfectly conveys why people like the Avowed art director is acting how he is. This is all designed to make people hate themselves and relinquish their power and assets through peer pressure and social programming, and it's working because these idiots are scared. Just look at how this article opens. When legendary Canadian game studio BioWare released Dragon Age: The Veil Guard this fall, it was supposed to be a redemption story. Well, I wouldn't call them legendary anymore. A lot of the people who made those legendary games aren't there anymore, but anyway, moving on. After several unsuccessful releases, The Veil Guard was a return to the studio's roots as a purveyor of narrative-focused single-player role-playing games. The critical response was largely positive, and at least at release, a lot of people were playing. That's not true, but anyway. However, even more people were talking about it as The Veil Guard becoming a lightning rod for a very vocal contingent of gamers who have started to target games they claim center diversity and progressive values. The anti-woke, anti-DEI talking points probably sound familiar to anyone who has engaged with culture in the last few years, especially for anyone who played games in 2014 when the now infamous Gamergate movement was launched. Gamergate was an online movement to reject feminism, diversity, and progressive values in the games industry, specifically targeting women and journalists in an attempt to protect an exclusionary idea of the gamer identity. Oh my god, Gamergate was not about rejecting feminism, diversity, or progressive values. See what I mean? They're already lying. Gamergate started because of the ethics of games journalism. Okay, let's stop. Did you guys know that Gamergate originated because Zoe Quinn, who worked in the games industry, pretty much was accused of sleeping with people to get them to review her game and give it better scores? And then this all exploded pretty much? Yes, it started because some chick wanted better scores for her game. And instead of just making a good game, she used her body instead, and here we are now. It's about ethics, you morons. It always has been. The ethics of the people who are in these positions refuse to do the right thing by the customer and instead cater to what they want because video games are supposed to be a business ultimately. Progressiveness or race has never mattered. We had plenty of diversity in games prior to any of this happening. The only difference was back then the diversity came naturally instead of feeling forced or checking boxes like it does now. See, this is what I mean. All of this. These people, these journals, these art directors, none of them understand why people are truly upset. They come to their conclusions, but they always miss the point. We are sick of you talking down to us, telling us to shut up and sit down and to accept your slop because in your opinion, if we don't eat your garbage, there won't be any more games in the future. But we know that isn't true. 2024 was saved by Asian devs. Every major flop came from the West pretty much this year. 2024 has survived just fine without an objectively healthy Western game industry this entire year and then some. We don't need your games or your politics because there are plenty of experiences that don't adhere to your crap already that are much better too. This crybaby syndrome that is coming from these devs and studios is them telling us that we need to support them or else. Or else what exactly? We won't get more slop in the future? Oh no, the horror. If you're only willing to make a game if you can inject all your talking points into it, and then you will yell like this Avowed director has saying we gotta remove crusty white dudes and push DEI, then guess what? We don't want it. The game can be made and played for people who want that sort of stuff, which, as I've proven so many times on this channel already, there's simply not enough of these people to cover the budgeting cost of these ballooning games price tags anyways. They don't show up, they just demand codes for free and then cry and piss themselves when their woke game fails. Why would I care if a bunch of soy-filled vegan babies are mad that their game failed? You didn't make it for me anyway, so what does it matter? Of course, that same article then says that hashtag isn't widely in use, but the behaviors and the conspiracy theory-like grift behind any of this has never really gone away and has evolved into the playbook for harassment online, cybermoms online, for far-right recruitment of disenfranchised men on the internet. It has evolved and persisted. Oh my god, so if you don't like pronouns in your game, you're now a Yahtzee. What an embarrassment these people are. And look, I hate Yahtzees. I can't even say their real name on YouTube because their name can age restrict nonsense. It's so stupid. By the way, in case you don't know, Yahtzee is internet slang for Nazi people. Look, those people wiped out large parts of my dad's side of the family in World War II, okay? I frankly find it insulting for these morons to be associating me with anything like that. All because I don't want to play your pronoun games or live in your fake realities. That's crazy, dude. As if it's only men who hate this stuff too. Just ignore the plenty of female content creators that have also pushed back against this, like Sydney Watson, or Vera Dark, or Savvy for a few examples. Melanie Mac as well. But no, it's only men. Men are the worst, especially white men. Oh, they're so crusty. They're so evil. I mean, they must be, since Matt Hansen, who looks like Food Network's Massimo Capra's illegitimate son he forgot about, said so himself. You can sum up how these people think pretty much in that one Anita Sarkeesian clip. Where is it? Yeah, this one.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
It's literally just that. Everything I like is great, and everything I don't like is made by bigoted racists. These people can't be serious, man. Well, they can be, but they still lost all composure. Oh my god, look at what just happened. Every day I sit here naked in my chair, double cheeked up, and now more has happened. So y'all remember Fallout New Vegas? Okay, well, Chris Avellone, who worked on that game and plenty of others, I mean, he's a legendary game designer, he caught wind of the whole Avowed art director saying that he prioritizes black artists over white ones when he hires people at Obsidian. Here's what Avellone had to say about that via X. Based on recent news, if you were rejected from an art position at Obsidian in the past few years, call a lawyer. Discrimination in hiring, especially for a Microsoft studio, can ensure you don't need to apply for a job ever again. And it shouldn't cost you a cent to initiate legal action. The lawyers will know what the case is worth, and they'll do the heavy lifting. This has nothing to do with my personal politics, but I believe strongly that hiring discrimination for any reason isn't something the industry should tolerate. I hope you agree. Oh, dear viewer, now the sauce is spicy. The mix is almost ready. The meat is cooking in the pot, and the tablecloth has been laid. We are, as they say, about to feast very soon here. Don't you love it when things finally come together like this? Alright, let's not get too excited yet. But what Chris Avellone has said here is crazy for a lot of reasons. Let me take you down memory lane. So Chris Avellone, like I said, worked on New Vegas and a bunch of other stuff. Dude has been a part of so many games, it's insane. So Chris Avellone was accused of sexual assault and harassment by women, and then they slandered his name, and then the industry basically blacklisted him for it. This went on for a few years, and then in 2023, Chris Avellone would eventually have the case settled in court, and he was paid a 7-figure amount for winning the case. Yes, that means he won millions of dollars at the end of this from the accused. The accusers, whose names are Kelly Bristol and Carissa Barrows, would confirm that they lied via Avallone's own blog, where they said in a joint statement, Mr. Avellone never sexually abused either of us. We have no knowledge that he has ever sexually abused any women. We have no knowledge that Mr. Avellone has ever misused corporate funds. Anything we have previously said or written about Mr. Avellone to the contrary was not our intent. Oh, don't you love it when gold diggers get caught in the act? It's like sweet candy that hits your tongue. Oh, it tastes so good. But yeah, Avellone won. He got slandered, he took him to court, he cooked him up real good, and then he left a millionaire. So if anyone knows what it's like to get accused by Obsidian Entertainment woke weirdos, it's Avellone. And now that he's publicly stating that the Avowed art director Matt Hansen here has publicly confirmed that he has willingly overlooked applicants unless they're black and has rejected white artists specifically, yeah, pretty much if you ever applied to work at Obsidian and are a white guy or woman even, I guess, and you got rejected over someone who was black, y'all better assemble like the goddamn Avengers right now. Hell, I would even go to Elon Musk's legal fund that he has set up to maybe get some help started if that works too. Cause this is straight up discrimination. You can't not hire someone based on their skin color. Yet the games industry especially has been doing this for years to white developers specifically. Seriously, if you're a white dev and you can prove that you were overlooked via skin color, like I'm not kidding you, dude. Whoever was hiring you, go look up their LinkedIn or their Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever they got. And if you can find any evidence that the person who was interviewing you favors one color of people over another, booyakasha, you may just have found your ticket to becoming a millionaire, my friend. I hope that everyone that got rejected by Obsidian rallies and sues them into oblivion. I want Obsidian to pay the toll for being woke activists. And remember, they're owned by Microsoft now too, which means if those people got overlooked, Obsidian could in turn use their connection to Microsoft and say, well, Microsoft wanted us to not hire white people on purpose. And then if you get that on evidence, you just up those millions to maybe double-digit millions, my brothers and sisters. These are rookie numbers. You gotta bump them suckers up to get it. Seriously, this is the time, guys. If you've ever been discriminated against for being white, it is time to call the Reaper and tear this all down. Because people have been rejected for racism in the past, so it's time to use it against this one too. I mean, why not? Hell, if I could get millions for being rejected for being white, I would do that right now. You kidding me? I could be sitting double cheeked up on a beach right now, drinking a blue Hawaiian while eating some sweet chili Dorito chips right now. Take these weirdos to court, please. Do not let Avowed's director get away with this. If you take anything away from this video, I implore you to spread the word that Avowed's director has publicly admitted to not hiring people based on skin color. Now, how did this all get found and what signal boosted it? Well, I'm glad you didn't ask, but here's the answer anyway. So Asmongold caught wind of this tweet when he was reacting to Avowed's director saying what he said before. Then, that part of Asmongold's video got picked up by Grums and Ian Miles Chong, which I probably said his name wrong, but anyway. Then, got retweeted by Elon Musk, who then tagged the CEO of Microsoft and said, hey, this is illegal to do, by the way. So now everybody and their grandmother basically saw this, and of course then Chris Avellone, who's sitting on his millions, saw it, and here we are. I mean, this isn't even the first time Elon retweeted something like this. Ashley St. Clair posted something of similar origin back on March 28th, 2024, and Elon would then say, it should not be acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist against white guys. Of course, these morons will always scoff and laugh at this, saying, you can't tell us what to do, you're not our boss. Which, I mean, you're right, but the law sure can.
That's right. Cry.
And turns out Matt Hansen also replied to Elon Musk on March 29, 2024 to that very tweet I just showed you where he said, oh, Elon, you sweet summer child, this will only embolden me, you sad sack of SHIT. We got more evidence of Avowed's art director confirming that he has an agenda against white men exclusively and wants to only hire non-white devs. Oh, this is a Christmas miracle. It's the gift that keeps giving. Would be a shame if y'all screenshotted that tweet from this video and shared it on social media. Totally not suggesting it or anything, but oh, my hand slipped. Here's that same tweet again on screen. My bad. Please, don't share that because Matt Hansen won't like it if you do. Probably doesn't help Avowed's case that one of the higher-ups in Microsoft named Kelly Lombardi has also attacked white dudes earlier this year too, where she said, raise your hand if you're not a white man and you buy video games. No hate the white dudes, it's just another day in the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist. No hate the white people, guys, except totally, we hate those people and we don't hire them. And we pretend they don't exist even though we are very visibly white ourselves. Circling back to that Gamergate article, they claim that the rise of Gamergate 2 will push developers in newer generations from joining video game development, but I disagree. I think, as long as you're making authentically great games that don't push a narrative, you'll be just fine. There's plenty of great games that have come out this year that have done just that. The only people who would be against this sort of thing are the ones who were raised as activists first and developers second. At the end of this Gamergate article, a lady in charge of fostering new hires would then say this. Particularly, my female students and queer students are put off by this. It's a difficult place to exist in. And their imagination of themselves in this world, in this sphere, is limited if they are being pushed out at every point, Zaro says. If the problem persists that the industry and the culture are hostile, literally too hostile to endure, then we don't get the people telling the stories that are meant to tell. What do you mean, meant to tell exactly? And funny how she pairs that statement with explicitly female and queer students. Oh yeah, okay, we get it. You just want stories being told by people who pass your ideology litmus test. If a white guy wants to tell the story, you don't want that. But if it's a non-binary person, well, by all means, right? This is what I'm talking about. There's no one telling you that you can't join an industry if you don't want to. The only thing that should limit your ability to join any industry is your personal talent. If you're not good enough, you shouldn't be there. Full stop. I don't care what color or gender you are, it doesn't matter. These sorts of people with victim mindsets are plaguing everything. Adult pretenders that are being coddled by other emotionally stunted adults in positions of power, creating studios that are more nurseries for victim-blaming activists than places where real games get made. And like I said, these people keep showing that they have that victim mindset from that Park Place. CD Projekt Red's senior experienced designer seems to mock fans over Witcher 4 DEI concerns. So IGN stated that Witcher 4 is in full production, then a user would say, I'm not excited over it, and the Witcher series is one of my favorite game series. CD Projekt Red is too deep into DEI ESG BS. Then a CDPR dev named Max Ossipovsky, damn, did I say that right? Ossipovsky, anyway, would reply with a laughing and clown emoji. Then the user would then say, wow, that's very professional of you, you know I'm a consumer and more than that of a fan of the Witcher series, and you're a senior experienced designer for CD Projekt Red, are you sexist too, telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown? The CDPR dev would then say immediate allegations along with misinterpreting, just wow. Another user would then reply, I mean, they aren't allegations at this point, and behavior like this post only proves we are correct from your perspective and the company's, you should have just stayed quiet. CDPR's dev would then say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to engage in this conversation further. No matter what I say, it will be misinterpreted to prove whatever point you'd like to prove. Assuming that everyone should immediately know one's gender on the web and make an attack based on that is simply wrong. Like, I just want to say to this Max Ossipovsky, however you say his name of CDPR, it was better that you just said nothing. We know that DEI is all over CDPR, just go look at their website. Actions speak louder, of course, so hopefully, whenever Witcher 4 gets revealed, they show us stuff to prove that people's concerns are unfounded. Honestly, I would love to be wrong about CDPR. I really would. But if they reveal Witcher 4 and it confirms all the things we are worried about, well, then the usual will happen. I truly hope Witcher 4 isn't bad. I hope it's great, but we'll see. I'll reserve judgment for now. But a word of advice to CDPR devs out there, stop poking the hornet's nest. If you stick to what made Witcher 3 great, you guys will be fine. But the truth is that Witcher 3's director isn't even there with you guys anymore. And you are all definitely hiring based on DEI right now too. No point in denying it. I've done plenty of videos on this already with plenty of evidence. But that's where we're at right now. Avowed's art director is cooked. And now that Chris Avellone and Elon Musk got involved, yeah, it's now looking good. And that Gamergate nonsense using Dragon Age Veilguard as a defensive shield, that's moronic too. And the whole Witcher 4 debate is just, it's so dumb. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for being here. Thanks to my supporters. Have a wonderful day. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.